a switch. Visit your local T-Mobile store today. Plan savings with 3 lines of T-Mobile Essentials versus comparable available plans. Plan features and taxes and fees may vary.
Has gone into nothing but a political commentator. That's what he is. That's what he's done. He and Stephen King both. They have both become obsessed with the political issues in this country. I get it. They're citizens. This is what we're allowed to do. We can protest. We can raise our voices. We can, we can talk about things we agree and disagree with. And both of them have decided to take their social media profiles and turn it into nothing but that. As a matter of fact, the one day I did say to Stephen King, bro, you wrote different books. You might want to try that with tweets. It might not be a bad idea. Like, they have just gotten a little too far down the Trump is the worst thing that ever happened rabbit hole. So we're going to spend all day telling you how great this guy is and how terrible this man over here is. I'm not shocked by that. I'm not surprised by that. Again, I think we've all known for a long time that a lot of actors, I don't think it's all of them, but plenty of them are a little bit more liberal leaning, have been every decade, pretty much ever, that we've had entertainers. Now, Drea DiMaggio, actually, most famous as playing in The Sopranos as Christopher Moltisanti's. She says there are so much of Hollywood is actually in the Trump camp, but they won't tell you. They're afraid of not getting roles, not getting booked for shows, and I think that could be true. I don't know how many it is. She made it sound like it's like a half. I don't think it's probably that many, but there are going to be more than enough. I think all you have to do is look over the years of guys and women who have come out and said, well, I got to tell you, dude, I don't really agree with this. Look at The Rock recently. Look at Bill Maher recently. So, I mean, you saw what happened. And those guys weren't even going like, dude, we want to vote for this guy over here. That's not even what they said. But that's what it was perceived they had said. So they've been thrown out of the cool kids club. So, like, I don't think she's necessarily wrong about that. But I can't be shocked about what Mark Hamill was saying, what he was doing, going to the White House and doing TikToks for the president. Can't be shocked by that. We have some audio. We'll get to Mark Hamill and that. We'll do that coming up at 9 o'clock. Also, like I said, Rock the Bank with you at 9 as well. I am sitting on one more 4-pack of Sonic Temple passes. This is you getting 4 tickets for all 4 days. Disturbed, Misfits, Pantera, Slipknot are your headliners, but dude, like Limp Bizkit's playing, Stained, Falling in Reverse, Evanescence, Theory of a Deadman, Anthrax, Starset, Royal Blood. Deep breath in, 311. All right, they kind of suck, but Rise Against is going to be there. Judas Priest will be there. Sum 41, a bunch of others too, and I got a 4-pack of tickets for you. We'll get you hooked up this very morning at 8:45. We'll also take a look at the Tom Brady roast from last night in the 8 o'clock hour as well. There were a few noticeable things. First, Nikki Glazer absolutely, and I mean absolutely, murdered. She killed last night. Nikki Glazer last night in front of a national audience on live Netflix proved once and for all that saying that women aren't funny is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my entire life. She was the clear star of that dais last night. That included Jeff Ross, Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura, Andrew Schultz, Tony Hinchcliffe, and Nikki Glazer is your champion from last night. She absolutely killed. One of the mistakes that roast made last night was having her perform a little too early. Now, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know whose set's going to go well, whose jokes aren't going to land properly, or what have you. But man, did Nikki absolutely kill last night. She was hilarious. There were a few other observations about some language I heard last night on Netflix that they decided not to edit out. Of course, I'm not talking about swear words, but there were a couple of uses, 2 as a matter of fact, of a word we're not supposed to use that word anymore. That's intolerant, that word. They used it not once but twice. And then there was another word that we have taken out of our daily conversation, and that one was used last night. Not to go overboard here, and to quote the internet, we are so back. We will get to that coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. We're also going to have to talk to Scott from winningfornextyear.com because Cavs win Game 7 on their home floor yesterday, dispelling of the Magic 106-94. Mitchell gives you 39 yesterday. This is after 50 on Friday night. This is after a 50-point game on Friday night. Cavs now move on to Boston. People didn't understand I was being facetious. I went to my socials yesterday, The Stansberry Show, and had posted, "We want Boston." They were screaming it inside Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse yesterday. I posted it to joke around. People were, "No, we don't. Lisa, you must not know basketball. And oh my God, you don't know ball." And it's like, guys, relax. I'm kidding. I kind of feel like now the Cavaliers are playing with house money. Absolutely nobody expects you to go into Boston and win this series. If you're even competitive in it at all, that is a win. Donovan Mitchell doesn't necessarily see it that way. He had said, I believe he said, they did not bring me here to win a first-round series. So the man's keeping his eyes on the prize. We'll talk to Scott from runningfornextyear.com about that. We will do that coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Also, I have a piece of audio here from a young person who says her parents, I'm assuming her, I shouldn't probably, but okay, her parents are narcissistic because they had the audacity to drive her back and forth to school and back and forth to practices and games. She said it had nothing to do with her. It's all about their narcissism. So we'll give you that crazy audio. We'll do that coming up at 7 o'clock this morning.
Here's what's next on the Stansberry Show.
All right. I had this earmarked for last week and we never really got to it. So I want to do it today. Self-driving semis are hitting the freeways at a high rate this summer, they claim. Let's get into this. Let's do it next here on the Stansberry Show. It's 330-450-7625 to send a text to the studio. You can also find me on your socials, The Stansberry Show. You know, as you host a program, the same subjects will come up. You know, maybe not every day, but you know, every couple of months, weeks, maybe, sometimes every day. And one of the things I've talked about planning is that I kind of like being in charge of my entertainment. I like owning things. I'm into it. Right? I like having physical copy. I collect vinyl and CDs. Now, I stream plenty of things, right? But I like owning. Now, I am more into this when it comes to my music than I am television shows and movies. I think it's just the medium that I like more. But there are things that I'm worried about not being able to get on a streaming service. One of the shows I really love, it lasted all of 1 year, is called Studio 60. I've referenced it a lot over the last couple of months. It was done by Aaron Sorkin, who has done The West Wing and Sports Night, and he did the Social Network movie, and he's done a lot of things. Few Good Men, I believe it says. And I like him a lot. But I worried that Apple would one day take it off of their service. And a listener of mine, very dedicated guy, Dwayne in Ashtabula, as he is affectionately known because his name is Dwayne and he lives in Ashtabula, has bought me a physical copy of Studio 60, sent it here to the building. Dude, I laughed very hard when I opened that. I opened very hard. I laughed very hard about when I opened that this morning. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Chris already texting in, says, "Come on, man, you keep hating on 311. They're not that bad." And I did hate on 311 this morning already, as they will be part of Sonic Temple, that getting underway in about 10 days. Down in Columbus, historic Crew Stadium, that's part of Sonic Temple, and I've had tickets for you over like the last week, and I have a 4-pack of tickets for you today. Yeah, man, they are kind of that bad, though. Like, they are. Like, them and Sublime, it's like a race to the bottom, and both of those two seem to have their foot on the gas pedal and hell-bent on getting there as fast as humanly possible. All right, you know what? So, it's kind of my brand, right? People kind of know. Like, he just doesn't like 311. He's not into Sublime. It's kind of just been built in. And I've done that on purpose, right? Make sure they know who you are is one of those things programmers will scream at you, right? And it's true. You need to make sure people know who they're dealing with and what you are, what you do, and what you're not, right? And that kind of thing. It helps. It's helpful. And so I've kind of turned that into one of those things. But I'm not a fan of either. As a matter of fact, 311 fans will probably get sick to their stomach because this song I do like, but the rest of their catalog I don't. I kind of like the one hit. Like, I kind of like that. I don't love it or anything, but I can tolerate this. But like 311 fans are like, dude, this is like when somebody says, "Oh, dude, I like Kiss. I mean, Beth is all right." You know what I mean? I'd want to punch you in the face, right? Like, dude, what are you talking about? Beth sucks, right? And this is their Beth. Except for the fact that, like, a lot less people have heard it. I mean, other than that. But they suck. Like, they do. I'm sorry, man. 311 and Sublime both suck. As a matter of fact, dude, I got yelled at. Not yelled at. I shouldn't say yelled at, because that's not true. But we did. I work at a couple of different radio stations. I work here, and I also work at WMMS, and now WEBN in Cincinnati, and a few other places. And over the weekend, MMS did a 90s weekend, and I loved it. And so I have shifts there that I do on Saturday, 10 to 3. I'm on MMS on Saturday. And we did a 90s weekend, and I came, actually, when you talk in between two songs, that's in the industry, that's what we call a speed break, right? And so I had a speed break scheduled between 311 and Sublime, and I was like, hey, 311 on your 90s weekend on the Buzzard, 100.7 WMMS, going all 90s. So let's give you one we play every day. And I played Sublime, and the PD did text me. He's like, I know you hate 311 and Sublime. I'm going to let that one slide. I was like, all right. The PDs don't necessarily love when you make fun of music. Don't make fun of the music. They like it. It's not about you. They like it. That's what matters. They like it. It's like, okay. He was cool about it, but that was not his favorite thing I've ever done. I just don't get into it. I don't get into it. Rastafarians, man, it's kind of like, I think I'm out on that. I think I'm out on that one, man. Like, you know what I should say? Trust fund Rastafarians, really? I'm kind of out on it. I remember when I first moved to Southern Oregon. My town there is called Ashland. And Ashland is a college town. That's where SOU is, and it's the only city in Southern Oregon that's like. The rest of it's a little like, well, great. And Ashland is like the one place that's like, all right, there's like an 80-year-old woman who rides her bicycle naked through the city every day because technically nudity is not illegal in Ashland, Oregon. And so she like tests that theory by riding her bike through the town square naked every day. And people, like, when I first moved to Grants Pass, people were like, dude, be a little worried about Ashland, dude, brother. It gets weird up there, brother, right? And when I first moved there, I saw a guy in like a $125,000 Range Rover with 7-foot-long treads, and I was like, oh my god, dude. Oregon is gonna be out of control, dude. Like, just like stickers all over the back window of a Range Rover is like, this is unbelievable, dude. Like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. So yeah, man, I'm just not into it. Or Sublime. I don't get it. All right, hold on. What's this the other one? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, oh my god. The steel drum thing? Near the ocean.